Hey everyone. Welcome back to Moneymatics. This week, we're breaking down what could move the markets over the next few days. What to watch, where the risks are, and where the opportunity might lie. Whether you're an investor, trader, or just curious, this is your market map for the week ahead. Let's dive in. Macro backdrop and economic risks. The macro picture right now is loaded with potential catalysts. First, key economic data is scheduled for release, including inflation indicators and employment reports. These could hint at whether central banks will remain hawkish or start easing. According to commentary from major institutions, there's a risk that rate cuts may be delayed if labor markets stay firm. On the geopolitical front, policy uncertainty and global trade tensions still linger, which could feed into market volatility. Bottom line, investors should brace for macro-driven swings. Equities, sector themes and risks. Now, let's talk about stocks, which sectors might lead, and which could underperform. Tech, especially AI-related names, remains under a cloud. Some firms are raising debt to fuel AI investments, which has raised investor concerns. But, there's also a pro-risk tilt in the market. If rate cuts happen, risk assets could benefit. Meanwhile, emerging markets may offer an interesting opportunity. Some strategists argue that EM equities are attractive if the dollar weakens. Small-cap stocks could also be worth watching. Historically, they outperform in the early phases of economic recovery. Strategy for investors. Consider a diversified equity exposure but lean into areas that benefit from macro flexibility and long-term growth themes. Bonds and interest rates. What about fixed income? Bond yields have been rising, and that's a key factor for both stocks and bonds. Higher yields create competition for equities, especially growth. But if the Fed signals rate cuts down the line, bond prices might rally. A cautious bond play could mean using short duration or floating rate bonds to mitigate risk. Bottom line, bonds remain relevant, but positioning matters. Be tactical. Dollar and currency outlook. Currency markets could be another major theme this week. If U.S. economic data surprises to the upside, the dollar could strengthen, pressuring emerging markets. On the other hand, weaker macro data may lead to dollar weakness, which could benefit EM equities and commodities. Investors should watch for FX signals as part of a broader macro bet. Commodities and alternatives. Don't overlook commodities and alternative assets. Geopolitical risks, if they escalate, could push oil prices higher. Gold and other safe haven assets may re-emerge if rate cut expectations fade or if macro risk stays elevated. For crypto-minded investors, macro data may drive short-term volatility, but the long-term narrative of digital assets remains interesting. Strategy idea. Allocate a small portion to alternatives as a hedge, especially if volatility returns. Key risks to watch. Here are the top risks that could derail the market narrative this week. Disappointing inflation or jobs data could push out rate cut expectations. Earnings misses from big tech, especially if debt-fueled AI investments don't pay off. Geopolitical flare-ups, trade, interest rates, or global instability. FX revaluation. A strong dollar could hurt global risky assets. Sentiment flip. Investor positioning could worsen if macro surprises go wrong. These risks don't guarantee a crash, but they demand respect. What to do now? Positioning strategies. So, what should investors actually do going into this week? Diversify. Use equities, bonds, and alternatives to spread risk. Hedge smartly. Small allocations to safe havens can protect against big surprises. Be tactical with duration. If you expect rates to move, adjust your bond exposure. Watch your entry. Do not all in at once. Consider setting staggered buys as data comes in. Stay liquid. Keep some cash ready to pounce on opportunity or exit quickly. This week could be pivotal. Macro signals, earnings, and central bank moves might decide the next leg of this market move. If you like this outlook, hit that like button, subscribe to Moneymatics, and turn on notifications so you never miss our weekly market breakdowns. Comment below. What are you investing in this week? Thanks for watching, and let's stay ahead together.